Good afternoon, everyone. This is Elisa Bustamante, and today I'll be talking about my project, which is called Digital Storytelling Approach for Venezuelan Children as EFL Students. Right here, we have the table of contents: introduction, the problem, theoretical framework, main theories and previous studies, methodology, instruments, and references. According to Celsi Murcia 2001, the use of stories in education and the art of storytelling has never been in question anywhere in the world. Stories provide young learners with compelling resources from a linguistic, psychological, cognitive, social, and cultural standpoint, and more EFL teachers today are adopting carefully chosen stories from the world of children's literature. Now, in this way, a tale serves as the foundation and rich backdrop for the creation of a wide range of connected language and learning activities that engage kids creatively and actively across the whole curriculum. The problem. It would appear that younger learners have a significant advantage over adult language learners because they become proficient and fluent speakers in ESL settings, just like the peers who are native speakers. There is not a precise age bracket for early and middle childhood or adolescence or youth, but it has been proven that adults who begin learning a second language later in life often have less success learning that language. Now, this has come to the following questions. Number one, does the digital storytelling approach help improve young children EFL learners' English vocabulary knowledge? And number two, how does the use of storytelling through digital media influence the motivation and engagement of young Venezuelan EFL learners in the language learning process? Now, the use of literature in the classroom, according to Dove and Malley in 1990, has advantages such as offering a variety of styles and vocabulary, addressing issues that are significant to children and connected to their own experiences, being familiar with various interpretations and opinions, and encouraging genuine interaction and participation in the classroom. Also, the use of digital story or digital storytelling can have a considerable impact on learners' knowledge, language, and literacy development. For this research, two theories were taken into consideration. Number one, Krashen's input hypothesis. This theory states that when a learner gets second language input that is one level above their current level of linguistic proficiency, they improve and move along the natural order of language acquisition. For instance, when a learner is exposed to comprehensible input, acquisition occurs. Also, Krashen contends that natural communicative input is the key to design a syllabus. This is because not all learners can be at the same level of linguistic competence at the same time. Number two, Jean Piaget's constructivism theory. This is a learning theory which affirms that knowledge is best gained through a process of action, reflection, and construction. Piaget focuses on the interaction of experiences and ideas in the creation of new knowledge. We have right here the previous studies. One is worldwide, the second one it's in Latin America, and the third one it's in Venezuela. The first one is called Engaging Young Learners of English with Digital Stories, Learning to Mean by Reni Lestarigana and Handoyo Widodo in 2018. This research took part in Indonesia. It describes how the creation of digital studies can help children to learn in a multimodal way. The authors expressed that this type of approach would allow the students to experiment with DST, which is the digital storytelling, in meaningful project based language learning. Now, the project was carried out because the use of digital stories encourages children to engage in various learning tasks, such as navigating and documenting life experiences and integrated language skills like listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The second study is called Storytelling as a Didactic Proposal to Approach Culture Topics in a Fifth Grader's Classroom in 2019 by Maria Teresa Esteban Nunez and Ana Victoria Gomez Rios. This study was developed with 10 fifth graders in a primary school in Colombia. The objectives of this study were to guide students to gain more knowledge about other cultures as well as their own, to become aware of cultural differences, and to develop more positive and accepting perceptions of different cultures. Talking about Venezuela, there's not much work done whatsoever related to storytelling or digital storytelling. Only few information has been gathered. There's one study called Narrative Stands in Venezuelan Children's Stories by Marta Shiro in 2012, which focuses on the formation of narrative perspective by Venezuelan youngsters using evaluative language. In terms of techniques employed to develop the narrative perspective in two different types of story, a personal and a fictional comparison is made. Now, the major goal is to ascertain how the type of tale, children's age, gender, and social class influence the formation of narratives. This research will be undertaken by implementing a case study with a qualitative approach. A total of 15 students will be participating from ages 11 to 13, and their English levels are A2 and B1 according to the CEFR. The instruments for this research will be a semi-structured in-depth interview. The interviewer will have a few questions to cover since the goal is to persuade the participant to speak on their terms. Then we have direct observation. In this part, the researcher can record activities, behavior, and physical elements of a situation by simply observing. And the last one, it's the DST technique or digital story technique. And the researcher will use a website called storybird.com to create a story. Thank you very much, and I hope that you enjoyed my presentation.